Madam Chair, I ask unanimous consent that a report by the Texas Civil Rights Project entitled "The Real National Emergency, Zero Tolerance, and the Continuing Horrors of Family Separation at the Border" be entered into the record.
The report mentioned on Capitol Hill reveals families immigrating to the United States are still being separated along the Valley border. This is happening even though separation of families was ordered to stop by the courts and the president.
Channel 5's Valerie Gonzalez spoke with a group documenting these cases.
46. It's the number of children separated from their parents or legal guardians after June 20th in McAllen. That's the date the president signed an executive order mandating family separation to stop. Over the summer, the federal public defenders at the McAllen courthouse were handling cases of parents who had crossed the border illegally. Their children were taken into governmental custody. The Texas Civil Rights Project began documenting cases of separation starting June 22nd through December 17th. A total of 272 adults were separated from a child relative.
38 of those cases were parents and legal guardians separated from their children. Of those, 46 children were separated from their parents. 25 of them were 10 years old or younger. The youngest baby was 8.5 months old.
This information made its way to lawmakers. On Tuesday, they questioned the chief of Border Patrol, Carla Provost. Provost explained how agents determine which families to separate.
We do an initial determination, and we are not making a determination that they cannot be placed back together. But as an example, and I see this because I get the daily reports, quite often we have individuals that have convictions for domestic violence. And if I may explain a little further as well.
Yeah, very quickly, I'm only interrupting you because I'm running out of time.
I turn them over to ICE. ICE is not going to put somebody with that type of criminal conviction in a family residential center, so we have to make that separation.
Okay.
The criminal convictions showed up in some of the families identified by the Texas Civil Rights Project. Laura Peña of TCRP tells us one parent fled sexual slavery and shot her captor, who survived. Another parent had a decade-old battery charge for a neighborhood brawl. Though each circumstance varies, questions remain as to whether crossing the border illegally would be grounds for separation. That's the very thing at the core of the zero-tolerance policy.
Does that include illegal reentry?
It is not for standard entry. If they have a felony charge, it can include illegal reentry.
So they are being separated today because of illegal reentry?
That is a felony. If they have a conviction for it from previous, where they have a felony conviction, they would be a felon, so then in that case.
Another case found by the Texas Civil Rights Project was a Guatemalan father. He was asked about his relationship to his daughter, but he only spoke Mam, a native language. Translation problems led to separation. Eventually, he was reunited. Still, some cases confounded researchers.
In at least 10 cases of the 38 parent-child separations, the parents had no known criminal history and no known prior removals from the United States.
The Texas Civil Rights Project will continue monitoring the McAllen Federal Courthouse to keep track of family separations in the future. The Border Patrol chief was also questioned about agents' training so they could better determine whether a child is in danger, something similar to a social worker. Provost said training standards include learning how to apply the Florida settlement and about the Trafficking Victims Protections Reauthorization Act. In the studio, Valerie Gonzalez, Channel 5 News at 6.